increase as you get people who are writers and storytellers into the mix, and not just people who really only care about designing the game and not writing it. I mean, I'm not sure how true that is for, any story-driven game, but I imagine that it will only continue to get better.
Are you trying to tell me that Breakout does not have a great story, but are you familiar with Arkanoid?
Yes.
Great story, thank you.
Does Arkanoid actually have a story, Jetty?
It does.
Yes,
Really?
when the arcade game goes into its demo mode, it does in fact tell you about Doe.
Yep. Doe, the ship, Doe.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up on Wikipedia. The game opens with a monologue stating the following. The time and era of this story is unknown. After the mothership Arkanoid was destroyed, a spacecraft Vaus scrambled away from it, but only to be trapped in space, warped by someone. That's cool, right?
Yeah. I knew it had a storyline because I know that Super Nintendo one is called Arkanoid. I think it's called, like, Doe It Again, which I always thought was a really inept Simpsons reference. I would always see it and I'd be like, why would you even force a Simpsons reference in there? It doesn't even make sense. But then later I learned that's like something in the story, a name of a ship or something.
Yeah, Doe It Again and Revenge of Doe.
I think you guys are making this up.
I'm not.
I don't believe you at all.
I used to play this game a lot. It came, I want to say, for some reason it was on my old computer, and it had like an editor mode, which I thought was awesome.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. But yes, I do recall the story of Doe. Breakout did have a story, technically.
Arkanoid.
But it does not quite compare to the stories of most modern movies, one could argue.
Did you not hear him regaling you with the tale of Doe?
I already forgot what all of it was. and to be fair, I also forgot most of the story of Heavy Rain after I stopped playing it, so...
All I know about it is Jason!
And it had a really terrible twist in it, which I won't spoil. But
it was spoiled for me, so the whole time I was like, come on, just get it over with.
See, I wasn't expecting, like, I knew something was going to happen, but I didn't know it was going to be that, mostly because they didn't foreshadow it at all, and it didn't make any sense.
I accidentally saw it on the internet. I was very sad.
Oh, that's kind of a drag.
Yeah,
Such
it was.
a story-based game, you don't want to have that kind of thing spoiled for you.
I know. It bummed me out the whole time.
Neat game, though.
I
like
could see it. I could see it happening in front of me. The twist. And I was like, oh, man.
Is someone in an airplane?
Yeah, spoiler alert. It turns out that the murderer was actually Aris.
Yep.
Yikes. Wasn't expecting that one.
So what was the original topic?
Arkanoid.
No, before that.
Work out.
No.
Welcome to the podcast.
Nathaniel, what were we talking about?
Objection!
Well, we were talking about a whole bunch of things, and we sort of morphed into all sorts of different topics that we don't even recognize where we are anymore. So maybe we should move on to something else. Maybe?
Okay, next topic. I'm just looking at my list to see if I have anything quick we could talk about.
Well, I always enjoyed it when we ended with the games that we're currently playing. It's always a nice way to wrap things up.
All right, why not? We haven't done that in a while, actually. We have. It's been a while since we last talked about what games we're playing now, so let's go for it.
The last game I played was Space Dudes.
I don't think it counts if you were playing it on your cell phone just before the podcast started.
It was the last game I was playing.
Oh, before that.
I believe it was Brickout.
Brick Attack, thank you. I'll let somebody else go first.
Well, I already mentioned I was playing Mega Man ZX, so I guess that doesn't really count. And I'm miffed. I'm amused and miffed at the same time that it doesn't require the stylus at all. It's a DS game that does not require the stylus at all. Uses the lower screen a couple times for a couple things. But then there's one weapon that when you use it, you have to use the stylus to draw the attack pattern of your weapon. And then the rest of the time you just put it back into the slot. So, I don't know. I guess you can cut out everything I say from the podcast.
So it's like they just got like 90% through the game development. They were like, oh, that's right, DS.
It's a great idea. It's just impractical. I mean, if this were like a turn-based RPG, I wouldn't mind redrawing my attack pattern ever so often. But this is a fast-paced, boom, boom, action kind of game, and to stop and say, okay, well, this enemy's far up above my head, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to draw the squiggly line that goes up. No, I'm not going to do that every time. But it's still fun. I also just got done playing Donkey Kong Country 2, which I've played before a couple of times, but I was actually showing my fiancée the game because it's nice to have someone who appreciates watching video games. Which is another topic I was going to talk about, which maybe we can save for another podcast. Games that are more fun to watch being played than actually playing them. But it was entertaining to play through Donkey Kong Country 2 for an audience.
Actually, to segue off of that, I'm playing a game right now that would be much more entertaining if I was watching someone else play it. Actually, I think this has probably come up on the podcast before, but I'm still playing Lifeline. I kind of play it, for like one night. I'll just play a couple hours standing. This is the voice-activated adventure game, voice-controlled adventure game for anyone who was not listening whenever I talked about it before. So you have to tell your character, go left, go right, use a heal potion, and most of the time she just runs directly at the enemy and gets killed. But this is a game that I'm currently playing, and I also feel in fact, I know for a fact is much more interesting to watch someone play because I've done it before, and it's hilarious just to watch them.
That is the quintessential party game, really.
Yeah.
Everyone just can just laugh.
I think that might, if it wasn't, if it was possible, I think that might make a fun Let's Play for the YouTube channel, actually.
Oh, it would.
I'm still playing that, like I said, about an hour every couple weeks or so. That's about how often I can work up the energy to do it. Also playing with my fiancé, we're playing through and almost finished The Longest Journey, adventure game from the early zeros, I believe.
I believe the term is aughts.
And it has a very apt title, I will say that. Also playing Secret of Evermore, which is awesome. Can't believe I didn't discover this game when I was little because it's Secret of Mana, but different. Except for that the multiplayer, which is kind of lame. But it's same gameplay, same exact gameplay, Secret of Mana. And since I love Secret of Mana, I am also thoroughly enjoying this game. And finally, I've finally started playing Fallout New Vegas, which came out last year. I just bought it over the weekend, actually. Because there is a Blockbuster near me that's closing down, and they were selling their Fallout New Vegases for $20.
Oh, they have the best deals sometimes.
I thought it would be better, to be honest.
Yeah?
They had like 30 copies of Fallout New Vegas. They're closing down next week. What else are they going to do with these things?
I know. I'm so surprised because I often see pretty good games in there for like $7, and a lot of times they buy one, get one free.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think when you posted about that on GameCola maybe last year, I ran out and I got like 6 new games. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I got a whole bunch.
It's amazing there. We're going out of business sale is not nearly as good as we're doing pretty well in business sale.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand how that worked. But yeah, I've been playing Fallout New Vegas. I think, thankfully, I'm playing it long enough after the game was released that there shouldn't be nearly as many bugs as there were when everyone else was playing it.
I did hear it was buggy at first.
Yeah. I haven't run into really anything yet, so that's cool. It's fun. I mean, it's almost exactly the same game as Fallout 3, except in a different part of the country. So if you liked that game, you like this one, and I loved Fallout 3. That's it. I'm also playing a couple indie games, but I'll be talking about them more in my Minus the Pudding column, which may or may not be already posted by the time this podcast goes up.
Yeah.
And currently I am playing Tales of Vesperia, because I got about halfway through the game before, and then Microsoft decided to delete my save game. So it took me about a year to muster the strength to get back to the game and play it again. But now I'm back to about where I was before. And that's really the only game I'm playing right now because I'm anticipating the oncoming flood of games I'm going to be buying soon, starting in 2 weeks with Portal 2.
Oh, is that coming out that soon?
It is, in 2 weeks, and then the next month, L.A. Noire and Brink, and the next month a game called Catherine is coming out that I want, and a bunch of others.
Is that game actually going to be good, though, or is it just going to be weird?
Catherine, I don't know. I'm interested in the plot line. I have it pre-ordered, but if more comes out that makes it look like it's just going to be stupid, then I'll probably cancel the pre-order.
I think I've seen some video of the gameplay, and isn't it walking up and down staircases?
That's all I've seen so far, and if that's truly all there is to it, then I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, it might be one of those kind of games where the gameplay is kind of meh, but it's so weird and bizarre that it's worth playing through the gameplay to get to the story bits.
That's kind of what I'm banking on.
Yeah.
Like, it's trying something new. It's trying a weird storyline, so I figure, I'll give it a chance.